Good morning, gorgeous. It's lovely to see you later than normal because I have been learning. I got to keep learning. I got to keep getting you information. I got to keep building my internal model and understanding of what I'm doing. And I really love to hang out with a very coherent field of energy, which I feel and enjoy in Joe Dispenza. So I just spent an hour and a bit, because he's a bit like me, he gets into something, doesn't want to stop before he's finished. He only answered 3 questions. It was a full hour of Q&A. But nonetheless, the last one was a meaty one. He was talking all about the unified field, and it was really totally cool. I can't wait for the replay to come out. I was taking notes, but I can't wait for the replay to come out because there were things I missed. I couldn't write fast enough. It was so good. So I'm all fired up. Now, what the hell was I going to talk about this morning? I just looked at it before I pushed go. Hi, Amy! Can't speak highly enough of Dr. Joe's monthly class. It's really worth the $10. Jingies, it's great to see you live. Yay, it's you! Woohoo! And look, there's no wind. Let me show you the flowers. Okay, so we have bluebells, and they are really starting to happen now. Isn't it good? Isn't it beautiful? The roses are starting to grow. And, nothing missing. Bluebells are beautiful. And they'll be even better in a day or so. But they're fabulous now. And look, here is the phylacterum. You see these little leaves? It gets taller and taller. There's a reason why there's a piece of rebar there, because I have to strap them up. Otherwise the winds break the thing when it gets older. And we have these roses that I put in here. They're old roses, but I just moved them. Hi, Jan. Hello, Julian, on your tablet, your new tablet that allows you to be with us more often. Oh, look, something fell over. The wind was violent. And look, you can see more roses, and you can see the lilies in the background, and that's me. And so this is really late spring, early summer. These amazing, amazing, amazing flowers, which are starting to age a little bit, and they fall over, and a couple of them are broken off because the winds have been really strong. This amazing sedum. And it's just beautiful with these really red leaves. They get very black in summer when there's more sunshine. And of course, you're all waiting for the Spiraxis. Look at this. It's just crazy. Far out. It's great to see you, beautiful. Look at this. This is what we all wait for. And it's glorious. So, and I'm actually enjoying the sunshine on my fingers. It was really cold overnight. But it's beautiful. And look, the purple ones are still there. And you see I've got lilies coming up through here. They always struggle a bit because they have to fight for light. But they come up and they flower, and it's just fabulous. And we have to savour this. Here's another lily that I've planted in a little gap. And these iris are coming up. I really hope they're going to flower this year. Might take them another year to get up steam. We don't know. And we've got a little bit of a mix going on. Yes, you did see a photo of a cat. It's not my roof. Over there, see? It's the neighbour's cat. And I zoomed in. But my camera doesn't have much of a good zoom because it's just a phone cam. So there's the neighbour's cat. There are actually 2 of them. They're siblings from the same litter. And that's probably Thor. Thor and Freya, you can guess. The family, the children, they're not kids anymore, they're young adults, are into Game of Thrones, and they named their cats after 2 characters from that series. So, today I want to talk about elevating your emotional state. Why? Because nothing changes until you change your energy. Really. And those are words out of Joe Dispenza's mouth, and they're so true. They are Burmese cats, Jen. They're totally Burmese cats, so you know. They get into everything. Nothing changes in your life, period, until you change your emotional state. Now, why is that something that is like a law? And it is a law. What's the deal with our emotional state? Who knew that if you are feeling angry, sad, or scared, you literally cannot receive any other information? I mean, we've all had the experience of somebody who's having a bad day and they're your friend and you're sitting there trying to comfort them or help them come up with solutions or saying, what about this or what about that? And all they're doing is, oh, no, it's not going to work and I'm angry, I'm upset or I'm scared or whatever it is. And, and you just can't get through to them. In the end, you realise, well, fine. I might as well just sit here and let you carry on being miserable because nothing I'm saying is penetrating. Nobody changes their life until they change their energy. So neurologically, what's that about? If you are sad or mad or scared, if you are feeling those emotions to any degree really, then some part of your primitive survival system, your sympathetic nervous system, is responding to something in your environment that you have perceived as a threat. If you're feeling sad or angry or scared, that's what's happening. You are running on stress hormones, and your brain is also not in a state of wholeness. It's in a state of incoherence. It's compartmentalized. It's perceiving a threat in the environment and having a reaction to it, and you're feeling the chemistry of that as being afraid or angry or sad. 3 headline emotions, but everything else is a derivation of those. So when you are in that state, you're either afraid and wanting to run away from something, or you're angry and wanting to fight something, or you're sad. And you're just, that's not really the hide thing. The correlations, one way or another, if there's a threat in your environment, those are your choices. You are only interested, if you're in survival, you are like the gazelle that's being chased by a lion. You're only interested in preserving your body, where you're going to go that's safe as opposed to danger, like away from the teeth, and how long it's going to take you to get there. You are only interested in your body, your environment, and your time, where you are in time. You're not in a state to receive new information. You're not in a state to relax, to create, to open up to new ideas, to feel good in yourself. That is not what your body and your brain can do when you are in those states. It's not possible. Your brain is busy either being angry or sad or scared. And when you are angry or sad or scared, your brain is making high beta brainwaves, fast, rapid brainwaves. You literally can't accept new information. You can't consolidate new memories. Why is that? Hi, Linda! Because in order to consolidate a new memory, your brain has to actually produce alpha brainwaves. Alpha brainwaves are slower than beta brainwaves. Let me get this right. Alpha is 11 to 13 cycles a second. I think that's right. I've been trying to remember these things. And low beta, which is fine and dandy, and if you're relaxed and paying attention, that's low beta. That's 13 to 15 cycles, and then it's 15 to 18 or 20 or something. I still haven't worked it out. I had it organised, but I haven't recalled it enough. You see, because you make a new connection, but then you got to revisit it and rewire it, and I don't bring those facts back to me often enough to remember them. But to consolidate a new memory, you have to be able to go into alpha brainwaves. You've got to slow down and relax and pay attention. That's why when children are in class and they're stressed, for whatever reason, they don't learn well. Because the brain can't relax and get busy making new neural connections. It's too busy trying to deal with a threat in the external environment. It's mutually exclusive. So, if you are sad, mad, or scared, you can't learn. And you also can't receive new information that might be actually helpful to improve your situation. It's just not possible. Can't get through to you. Can't get through to you from the outside environment that you can see and smell and taste and touch and hear. And it also can't get through to you from your heart or from the unified field or whatever way you're, thinking about it. It's just not going to happen. So that is why it's so important to change your state. Because nothing new can get to you when you're stressed out of your little wee pea shooter. It just can't happen. That's why. So, and that's how it is that, your friend can be trying to help you and you're feeling pissed off because what you really want them to do is be angry or upset or scared with you. And also, to turn that around, and anybody who's had some degree of skill working with people and their issues and challenges knows this. When somebody is highly stressed, you actually have to meet them where they're at. And then, being the stronger energy, the calmer voice, the more coherent mind, then you can help them navigate to a more balanced state of brain and body and help them calm themselves down, and then new information can get in. So if you're if you're conscious and you can match somebody's elevated state with your voice, with your expression, but inside you're thinking, we're going over here. So, there's mirroring and there's empathy neurons. You see, I spoke about those yesterday. I remember we have these things called mirror neurons, and they connect us with other people. That's why when you watch somebody laugh, you start to laugh too. It's your mirror neurons that do that to you. That's why parents, when they're teaching their baby to eat, they have the spoon of food, they're heading towards the little baby's mouth, and they make because they model the behaviour they want the child to learn. And we do it with mirror neurons. That's how the baby learns to eat. Watching the parent, here's this thing, what do I do with it? Oh, there's this mouth that's opening. Maybe I'll try that. That's what the brain does. But you've got to be relaxed to do it. So, okay, fine, that's dandy, Maddie. I need to change my state. Here I am wanting to climb the wall, scream out of my skin, whatever it is. Yes, constantly harassed. Oh, yeah, exactly why you had no fecking chance to learn, Linda. Because you never got to just calm down and pay attention to what was going on. It's just amazing, This is why. And at another completely different end of the spectrum, I observe my dear mother who has dementia, and I understand why she can't consolidate new memories. To the other end of the spectrum, there's no energy in her brain. And I can observe, I can watch her, she sort of comes up and talks to me for a few minutes, and she can make a few beta brain waves and have a conversation, and then she just starts to drift off and she gets tired, and I think straight into theta, straight into delta. She has to sleep a lot because she's just not got much energy, and she has no energy to first be an alpha, and secondly to create new neural connections in her brain. It's just not happening. It's just a change. By the way, before anybody says how awful that is, she's happier than she's ever been her entire life. End of story. Long story, but end of story. So, we need to get into the right brain state to learn. And it's astonishing how much pressure people get under. They think, I've got to figure this out. I'm just immensely stressed, but I've got to figure this out. It doesn't happen. So how do you change your emotional state? If you want to create something different in your life, how are you going to do it? What's the deal? And for me, and this is a skill, right? This is a skill. Oh my goodness, I can look back and see how much I have developed this skill over the last 18 months, however long it is now. I have learned to open my focus, because that helps me to get a coherent brain. Really helps me to calm my brain down. Because when you are the antelope being chased by the lion, the brain, of the antelope is saying, where's the lion? The lion's over there. Okay, where's my escape route? Where's the tree? Where's the bush that I got to avoid? Where's the rough ground? It's going very quickly from here to here to here to here to here, managing all this information, planning, trying to control, executing, very aware, hyper-vigilant, as is appropriate in that situation. And it's very narrowly focused on objects and things and situations and places and how long time it's going to take to survive. That's survival. And when you're in that state, you've got a very narrow focus, the brain is going very fast, you can't learn, you can't relax, there's only one thing you're going to do, and that's protect yourself. And by the way, that's why a lot of people do really crazy, horrible things that they regret afterwards when they're in that highly stressed state. Think, oh my God, I didn't mean to punch that person out. I didn't mean to send that in. Oh my God, I should never have said that. But when you're amped up on those emotions of fear and anger and sadness, you can say and do amazing things. Yeah, lots of people get really miserable when they get dementia. I'm just lucky my mother forgot all her sadness. Very fortunate, very grateful. So, to change your state, you really need to do one or two of these. You need to get your brain coherent, and that means opening your focus, to me. And you need to get your heart coherent, and that means elevating your emotional state. Now, for me, I find it very hard to just elevate my emotional state without making my brain coherent first. For me, that's difficult. It's a skill I need to practice more. So for me, I have to start by opening my focus. Now, what do I mean by that? Let me check the clock. I'm having problems with the pocket opening here. Okay. What do I mean by opening my focus? Well, I'm standing outside, right? Now, imagine you're in my head, and behind me, you know that there's a magnolia tree, which I actually forgot to show you, that's flowering. And in front of me, there's a cat still walking on the roof, and there's a big tree fern, and there's a tree, and there's a fence on one side, and there's a house on the other, and there's a sky above, and the green lawn below. And you see, I'm paying attention to everything around me. And the more I do that, and this is just blunt force and very broad, but the more I do that, the less I'm paying attention to my body, the less I'm thinking about whatever memory it was that was upsetting or whatever I'm worried about that's going to happen tomorrow, the less I'm thinking about anything except the fact that I'm just paying attention to all the space around me. And like I say, it's a skill. And I've gotten really good with practice at opening my focus, even when my body is trying to have a panic attack. Doesn't happen very often. Or when there's something that my brain is trying to start obsessing over to say there's a problem with that, you need to be worried about that. More and more, it's relatively easy, for me to say, hold on a minute. Whoa, I don't like where this is going. Let me open my focus and just put it around me. And that's all I'm going to say. It's a practice. Something that you, Julian, have taught me, which you learned, 30 years of meditation training. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Is to imagine that there is a bubble, there is a balloon. And you blow it up, and it's just all around you, and you keep your awareness on the balloon as it expands. And you can do that with your breath, or you can just do it with your awareness. It's just to imagine all of, you're on the center of the balloon, and you blow it up, and it gets bigger and bigger, and your awareness goes out with the balloon. So it's a beautiful way to give yourself something to focus on, as a metaphor, a way to think about, okay, this is what I'm doing with my awareness. I'm opening my focus out into space around me. That's a brief description of the open focus. And what it does when you do that, because you're getting your attention off the objects and the people and the places and the time deadlines and the situations, everything else, you're just not paying attention to any of that. The brain calms down. Different compartments of the brain that were all rushing off, being concerned about those different things, actually just settle down, and they start to communicate with each other, and your brain becomes more holistic, and you feel better and you feel calmer. And I just love that, because it's such a relief. Because who knew how incoherent I used to be? I didn't, until I did. And then to elevate your emotional state, which I then find much easier when my brain is more coherent. Some people can just jump in and do it in the heart. I'm not one of those people. I understand it better now. I realise, finally, long story, that I have a very analytical mind. And I have to get this brain of mine under control. And that's how I do it. It's not a matter of strangling it, it's a matter of letting it to relax. And then to elevate my emotion, I have to put my attention in my heart, literally where my heart is, behind my breastbone. But it's not about paying attention to the physical organ that is creating this pulse that goes through your body. It's about being aware that there's an energetic centre there, and putting my awareness there and breathing in and out of it. Breathing in and out of it gently. And again, you can put the balloon there. Imagine that. That as you breathe in, you make the balloon in your heart get bigger and bigger. It's not heart-shaped, it's just spherical. And as you open out into that, and you can imagine just gratitude. Great emotion to start with. Gratitude used to be all I even knew how to think about doing. Just open my heart and let me feel gratitude for the fact that, Nobody's shooting at me today. There is blue sky above me today. I'm not starving today. I have enough today. Whatever it is, there's so much to be grateful for. And trust me, on a day like this some years ago, I could find plenty to be sad about. It's nothing to do with the circumstances. Everybody has something that they can be grateful for. Many things to be grateful for. So, to put my awareness in my heart and breathe there and quite consciously and willfully choose what I'm going to feel instead of whatever I have been feeling. And like I say, for me it's much, much easier if I open my focus first. Really does help me. But I practice doing it the other way in my meditations with Dr. Joe because I need to get better at just opening my freaking heart. It takes practice. It's taken me a long time. I'm getting better at it. So to elevate my state then changes my frequency, then allows me to be open to the solutions and the inspirations and the serendipities and the synchronicities and the things that I desire, and I don't know how to make that happen. And before I would obsess over how I don't know how to make it happen, how impossible it all is, instead I just can practice getting lost in the feeling of how I feel when it's already happened. It's, oh, wow, that was so cool. I'm so grateful. Woo! To practice getting lost in that frequency and that thought and that feeling of that experience, which of course makes it real for my body in that moment, and changes me, it makes me more open to more things on that frequency instead of the I'm scared and I have to protect myself and everybody and everything is out to get me frequency. And that is why it changes your life when you change your emotional state. So powerful. So powerful. Yes. I'm just sort of realising again more of the information I got from this morning's call, listening to Joe talk about this. I mean, he was talking about the unified field, like I said, but something's just linked up in me. It's like, oh, yeah, right. So maybe I'll try and digest some of that and explain it to you tomorrow because it was so groovy. It's like, oh, wow. Yeah. See, that's why I do it. This feeling is why I do it, because it's good. Big love. Thank you so much for joining with me. I'll see you again tomorrow at the normal time. Until then, bye-bye.